Hello and welcome along to my haul for the month of May. All the stuff here has been purchased offline, either eBay or things like Amazon or Zavvi. Okay, so the first title is a film that I've been after for quite a while. It's one of them ones, it's always in CEX when you're not there. You go and look on the CEX website and it says it's got 10 in store. You go, they're not there, and you go mooching around and you cannot find it, and it's quite expensive in HMV. So I eventually found it on eBay for about £5 with a slip, and it's Office Christmas Party. Now, this Jason Bateman, for some reason, I quite like his films, and I usually have a good time with him. So this was obviously one that I wanted to see. It hasn't got a good review, but I really enjoyed it, and it's also got Jennifer Aniston as well. She plays a good part, and it's also got a fella who was in Silicon Valley, TJ Miller, who I've got to admit he did get me nerves a little bit on Silicon Valley, and I know he obviously left there, but this film is pretty good. Even he's good in it, and we had a good time, me and my wife, with it, and I do recommend it. If you get it cheap, very good. And it obviously come with a slip as well, which I was quite pleased to have. I like my slips, as you know. Strangely enough, the next one I got was The Office. This is season 8. I only wanted one season, which was season 8. I've been looking online for this for quite a long time, and CX, all that type of thing, and one did pop up brand new for about £6 on eBay, so I pounced on that one and I got that. I'm currently rewatching them all. I don't go to season 1 of The American Office. We call it The American Office. The Office, the UK Office, is my favourite comedy series of all time. Now, this is good. I really do like it. But I found season 1 of The American Office to be like a blatant copy of the UK Office. So for me, this one here, it sort of started for me on season 2. So I think I'm into season 3 now. And I don't think I've seen season 7, 8, and 9. So I know that they changed personnel quite a bit in them. But I wanted to check the whole lot of them out, because sometimes you get into a stage with you watching something and you lose track of it. But I'm going to catch up at this moment with this series, The Office. Now, this one was bought because, as you know, I got a Criterion box set of Godzilla, which I thoroughly enjoy. And obviously the next step after the 1975 film, The Terror of Mechagodzilla, then Godzilla took a hiatus, and the next film after that was this one here, Godzilla 1984. Now this one here, The Return of Godzilla, is in English. It's got a UK dub, but I think this is although it says region A, but it is multi-region. You can play it on I played it on my 4K player. It played perfectly, and it's quite a good little film actually. I do have it on video VHS of the American cut, but I haven't watched that particular one. I do have this one here now, which is the one I would go to all the time. It's a longer, I think it is longer. It's a Japanese cut, and it's quite worth a watching. Obviously that's where we're up to in our Godzilla watching. The next step is to watch the next series of them, which I'm going to mispronounce and say Heisei or something like that, but that's going to start off with I think Godzilla versus Biollante. I'm not too sure about that, but I've got them to watch. Well, we have, me and my wife, and we do thoroughly enjoy these. And this has got a good picture quality as well. I imported this from America. It was only £10, and it come quite quickly. So sorry, I'm just getting a text there. But I thoroughly recommend it. I thoroughly recommend every Godzilla film, if I'm honest. But obviously we had to get the whole set. The next one is an 88 film, and it is spine number 56. It's in the American Classics series. The Italian collection. I will keep saying Italian Classics, but it is an Italian classic. And this one is an early effort by Umberto Lenzi, Paranoia. Now it does star two people that I do quite like, especially Jean Sorel. He's been in quite a few 88 films releases, and he's a good watch, and I do like his films. And he always plays somebody who's not what you seem, and this is one of them films where you think there's a bit of, it's double crosses, murder and madness. Yes, it's a lot of double crosses in here. It's a good film, it's a good print, and I do recommend it, as I recommend most of the films, but this was quite a good one. I did enjoy this one. This next one was one that I really wanted to see. I really wanted to own because it's one of them ones that's regarded as a silent classic. I haven't watched it yet, but I have checked out a few bits of it, and it does look quite good. The picture quality is quite good. It's The Passion of Joan of Arc, and it's I don't know how it's called Dyer, or called Theodore Dyer, and Dyer's masterpiece ranked as one of the 10 greatest films of all time. And they reckon the performance of the lady in it, who I don't think she acted in many films, is meant to be, you have to see it to believe it. And it's a good version. Obviously it comes in a booklet. It's got all, as they do with Eureka, Masters of Cinema releases are usually top draw. So it's one of them ones that I had to see. I will get around to watching it because I do like silent films, and I was happy to get this film. I think for about £8, brand new. The next one's another 88 films, and it's in their Asian collection, and it's spine number 3, and it's 5 Elements Ninja. A lot of people talk very highly of this one. The ones I've seen in this Asian collection have all been good. There was one I didn't like. It was Black Magic, I think it was called, but I just sold that. I'm not interested in collecting all of them. Just want the ones that are good, and the ones I've got are really good. And this one, I haven't watched it, but I've watched a few little bits of it, and it does look very intriguing. And if it's anything like the ones that I've kept, it should be a good film. Now, excuse me. This next one is one that I didn't really want to see, and then all of a sudden it came into my sort of radar, and I thought to myself, well, if it comes on Sky, I'll watch it. Then Sky promised it was coming on, then it never turned up, and of course when that happens, you start to think, well, I do need to see it. It became a little bit of a personal quest for me to see it, and so I got it off eBay, and it was only £10, and that is Hobbs and Shaw, Fast and Furious. I never liked the Fast and Furious franchise. Never seen one of them, but I do like Jason Statham and the Rock, and Idris Elba. So I thought to myself, well, I'll give it a shot. If it's rubbish, I'll just get rid of it. But I did really, me and my wife watched it. I did really enjoy it. The picture quality is very good on this one. It's not demo quality, but it's nice. It's good. I mean, I don't think I've got a 4K that looks bad, but I do recommend it as a film that's just a bit of a laugh, but I do get quite a lot out of it. The banter between them two is quite good. The names that they call each other, I think I do like it for that. This next one was just a quid off eBay. It's to do with films that I do like by this particular person. I try to collect all his films to watch. Maybe I'll watch them and ditch them, but I do want to see more of his stuff, which I do think is quite watchable, although I know what I'm getting into when I think of this person. And that's the marvellous Dyer. And by this film, it looks as if he doesn't really play a big part in it. But it's one that he's been in. I'm going to give it a shot. The ones I've got quite a lot of his on DVD, a few on Blu Ray. They always were cheap, and you know that you're going to get one that's not. It's not going to be Shakespeare or anything, but for what it is, you usually get a laugh out of it. And I like Dyer actually, and he is obviously the King of England. If you watch that, Who Do You Think You Are? And he's related to the King of England. Wow. This next one was a one that I bought because I had to buy this one. It's the first one I've owned by this director on 4K. So, and I don't know if his other ones will come out in 4K soon, but I think they will. I'm quite wanting to get some of his films, some of his main films that I like on 4K, and that's Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And had to come with a slip. This took an absolute eon to come from Zavi, but they blamed the COVID. I don't know if I accepted their explanation, because I just think that they were just dragging their feet, because I got it cheap off them because it was in a sale, and when you get things in a flash sale off Zavi, it's as if you get put right to the bottom of the list. They kept saying it was out of stock, all this type of malarkey, and then they blamed the COVID. But anyway, when I did watch it, I put it in, and I didn't know anything about it. I didn't want to know anything about it, And I must admit, for the first, because it's a long film, for most of the film, I didn't really know what it was all about. What is it, a comedy? Is it an action film? Is it going to go somewhere? I know it tied in with the Tate LaBianca murders with Charlie Manson. What was all that sort of aspect with it? So by the end of it, I did realise it was sort of more like a comedy. And that's the way when I watch it again, I will treat it as a comedy, except as opposed to this one when I was just scratching my head halfway through thinking, what is this about? Because usually you get a handle on his films before they come out to know that they're a Western, they're a crime, they're like Pulp Fiction is just a kind of, well, that's his best film for me. Reservoir Dogs as well is great. But I must admit Brad Pitt was amazing in this film. Leonardo DiCaprio was good as well. And I do think that I will watch it again. I wouldn't think it was top of my list, although going into it, I thought it was going to be a really good film. I don't think it's a bad film, but I do think he's made better ones. The picture quality was good, but I was expecting a little bit more. I don't know if the colour on it was a little bit muted for me, but maybe that was just the style he chose to shoot it in. I do think that I would like to see him doing a different type of film, a bit more to his Pulp Fiction style. And I don't know where he's going to go with his next film. I know he said he's not going to make too many films, but anyway, it's all right, but I thought it would be better, if I'm honest. But I will keep it. Now, the next one was from One Below, and it was £1, and it's Scary Movie 5. I know I think I've seen it or seen bits of it and thought it was pretty bad. I know I don't like all the Scary Movie films, but I'm going to collect them all, give them all a good watch, see what I think of them, and then if I like them, I'll keep them. If I don't, I'll ditch them. But so it was just a quid. I thought, well, I'll get it because I'm going to get them anyway. I'll give it another shot. I know that it'll not be the funniest one of the lot. For me, that's Scary Movie 3. But yeah, it's just £1. The next one was, I got this on day of release, and it's Spine number 58 from the Italian collection from 88 movies. And it is the 1980, I consider it a classic, McCobb. Now, sometimes in the 88 films Italian classics, Italian collection series, they will, just check this to make sure it's all right. They will give you a film that you don't know too much about. You don't know, if you're going to like it. Sometimes you do like it. Sometimes you think it's not as great as other films have got. And sometimes you want to get like a really good title. It's like a really big name that you were dying to get in a better version. And Macabre is one of those titles. Lamberto Bava's first film, obviously directed Demons, which is an amazing film. And it's got an absolutely immaculate print on it. They've done an amazing job on it. And I would imagine, yes, a brand new 2K restoration from the original camera negatives. You can tell it's stunning, and it's a good film, and it's got an ending that you would never believe. It's highly, highly recommended. And also on the same day of release was the Spine number 60, and this is with a little bit of censoring. This is Lucio Fulci's The Devil's Honey. Now this is a latter day Fulci one, and I was thinking to myself, would it be that good? Would it be one of the ones where he'd like tailed off? I think this is from 1986, so you're getting into the time when Fulci had lost his gory edge. But if I'm honest, I was really, really impressed with this film. I got a lot out of it and I really enjoyed it. The story is quite bizarre, and it deals with this lady who her husband's been killed, and she thinks that the surgeon is responsible for his death. So she exacts her revenge on the surgeon in the way of torturing him. So yeah, but it's a good film. It's got some gore in it, and it's not one of Fulci's better films, but by no means is it rubbish. I will be keeping this one, and it's a good print as well. Not as good as Macabre, but it's a good addition and a good Fulci film. I would consider it in one of the films that I would say is one of his better films. So the last one I got for the month of May was, as I was talking about Scary Movie before, I got this Scary Movie Trilogy box set from eBay. Now the person who sold it mustn't have liked it very much, because number 2 and number 3 were still shrink wrapped, and Scary Movie 1, the shrink wrap for the box set would just been opened there. Scary Movie 1 was taken out and nothing else was touched, and it did say, brand new on the listing. So for me, the person's looked at Scary Movie 1 and not liked it at all. Now for me, Scary Movie 1 isn't my favourite one. Scary Movie 2 is not too bad. Obviously you've got the butler who's got the mangled hand, who keeps touching everything with his hand, which is amazing, that whole scene. I'm going to give you my strong hand. And for me, 3.5 Scary Movie is the best one out of the lot, because I think that's when the people who were responsible for Airplane and Top Secret, I think that's when they took over the franchise. They maybe did 4 as well. Now 4's quite hard to track down. I think you've got to go to Germany to get one on eBay, on Blu Ray, which I will do. It's not top of my list, but I'm not going to watch these for a bit anyway. But I thought I'll give them a shot, see what they're like. I'll watch them all in a sort of series. If I like them, I'll keep them. If I'm not, I might keep one. Well, I can't keep that one. I might buy that one separately and ditch the rest of them. So anyway, so that's me haul for March. That's what I got. Sorry, May. And next time I'll be back for June, obviously, when June finishes. So you're all up to date with my stuff. I can do a one from 2019 because I've got all the things that are collected in 2019. I can do another one of them. But for now, I'll leave it there. And thanks for watching. And please like and subscribe if you like this video. Also comment if you like. I always answer your comments. And I appreciate all your comments as well. So you take care. And I'll see you next time.